Now Team FTP, they are looting the upper part of Chumasera, and in the meantime I'm very sorry guys, because my microphone was off and I didn't notice it, so the first part of the commentary could not be heard in the stream, and that is not anyone's fault, that is definitely mine. Team FTP is being very careful in looting the upper part of Chumasera, and they're already reduced to 3 members, but they definitely wiped out one of the squads, taking that 4 kills initially, where Team FTP Madara has racked up 3 kills. So this player would be lookout from this squad at the end. How many let's see how many kills he can confirm. Now moving on to the other squads, Team H2O, they are pretty looting the outskirts of San Martin. Now Hacienda del Petron is being clustered by squad number 21, that is Team HL, who has a member known as the Team HL Racer, and he is the man definitely to look out for. And Team H2 Angry OP and H2 members are lurking beside Hacienda del Petron, and Team TDS is giving the rotation from the backside of Team H2O. And do they know that they are being surrounded by 2 squads? And look at that beautiful golden Mirado. Now this Mirado is like, this is the OPest of car I have seen in Miramar. I mean, the best update I have seen ever is bringing this car, but this car is definitely fragile enough. It can be blown into ashes in a spray. And somewhere Team Toxic is taking a fight with Team Out, and team number 19 is so close to Team HL, and definitely they are being shot at, so they do know that there is someone here lurking, and they are opting to get away from here as soon as possible. Now Hacienda del Petron is completely open for Team HL. In the meantime, we see Team Chexi. They are at the dead smack center, where there is no squad in proximity, not even in 200 or 300 meters range. Now talking about Miramar, the cliffs, the ridges, the DMR battles, the sniper battles are so common in Miramar. There is quite a map that people should play, but not for Indians. Indians mostly prefer the map of Erangel, and that is the map where they like to rack up kills and take those chickens easy peasy. Now you just cannot ignore the other maps, because all the maps needs to be accustomed with, they needs to be played. And in the meantime, Team Chester taking some shot at team number 19, that is Team H2O.
Team 14 now.
Now moving on to team number 14, it's I am clan, that is I am Psycho, I am Ashu, and I am Mr. Weak. And somewhere Team Terror taking down Nitro and finishing him off. So there was no cover fire coming from Toxic's teammates, and I guess they are being reduced to 2 members right now. And Team Terror, Fizz OP, they are wreaking havoc on Team Assassin Vats. And Team Terror OP, I think Team Toxic is finished. And yes, Team Terror did manage to wipe that squad with the 3 kills initially, and although the 77 is alive, this team definitely will be at a lookout that how many kills ultimately they can rack up. And Team HL Jester, he is being knocked by Team H2O Angry OP. Now moving on to them, that was a beautiful DMR knock coming from Team H2 Angry OP. Now guys, what are you doing? What are you guys doing here? Oh, there is a ammo sharing business going on. We can see this in PUBG map quite pretty frequently, that you ask your teammates for ammos, then attachments, whatever you need. Now we can see 8 times DMR shots being shot at Team HL, and Jester being has been revived in the meantime. we can see the positions of Team H2O teammates, like they are quite splitted. And look at the position of T2C Dante, because Team HL doesn't know that Team T2C Dante was over here. They didn't know that H2O Dante flanked pretty early, and Team HL is down to 3 members, where the knocked guy Team HL Jester is being revived now, and Team HL Racer was literally 5 HPs, and it is Toxic OP. Now he has to heal himself up pretty early before they being completely decimated into ashes. Now pushing a compound in Miramar is definitely a hard task to push a compound, because you need to get that sniper knock or the DMR knocks. Only then it's a chance for your teammates to slam in the compound and take the squad away. Now moving on to other squads, TDS Omega YT rotating from San Martin towards Pecado. I mean, I don't know why Team Chexi left the Pecado region, but for me, I think that was a poor decision leaving the central position, or Team Chexi might just opt for the hilly region, so they might have left Pecado, who knows. Moving on to Los Leones, we see Team LF Tectonic and their members battling out with Team DLT. It's basically a fair circle where all the clans, all the members are inside it. Only a few teams such as the Matrix clan, they are outside the zone, and also Team DPR along with Team Out. Now look at the position of Bloody Levy. They are down south the circle where there is no one in the vicinity. Now Out Sifano taking knock at Rishi, and Out Sifano finishes him off, so there was no cover fire coming from Team Razor clan, and Out clan just decides to move away. And look at that, they don't have other vehicles, and even this vehicle do not have the wheels on, so this vehicle would be definitely changed by Out members pretty early, so that they can be quick enough to do their rotations. Now Team 15, that is the Matrix clan, Matrix Phantom, they might gatekeep other squads. And look at Phantom, he just secures his vehicle inside a compound, and not only inside the compound, inside some kind of a garage like thing. Whereas we see Cheximunda taking down HL Bablu, and Team HL Racer coming into action and knocking Android 17. Racer gets 2 knock. I mean, where the fight is going on? Hold on, let me go to the fight. I don't want to miss any action. And Team HL Bablu OP is knocked and he's being revived. In the meantime, Chexi Gabru, he is also reviving his teammate Cheximunda, and it was 1v4 scenario, but in the meantime he has revived him, so it's now 2v4 scenario, and Team HL will just pound upon him and skidoosh. That was a pretty nice squad wipe by Team HL. Now Team T2C Dante and H2O clan, they do know that they have the right opportunity to do that third party thing and take down Team HL before they can regroup and reassemble themselves for another fight, and they'll be back with four men strong. I mean, they are just splitted in a 3v1 like thing, so that they can just use that one member to get into the zone and go for some position points. In the meantime, we see 20 teams alive, and we see what LF Wolverine taking a fall damage and getting knocked. I mean, in Miramar you definitely need to be careful, because once your leg slips off the cliff, and you will definitely break your ankles, not only ankles, you will definitely break your spine, and you need to go to the hospital. And in this pandemic situation, you cannot afford to go to hospitals so easily. Now, before as I'm taking the topic of pandemic, all those who are watching the stream, definitely go and check out our movies regarding pandemic on PUBG. We have definitely tried our best to show the whole world scenario. What is pandemic actually doing? In the meantime, we see Dante with that 4 times. He knows the location of differential, and two members of Team HL being knocked by Team TPC Dante, and and Jester manages to give cover fire to his teammates, taking down Team H2O Psycho. So you just cannot be so what to say. You cannot just go on push like teams like HL who have that gun power to restrict a squad from pushing them. Yep. Now the location of Team HL Jester is definitely tricky, although he doesn't know the position of H2O Angry. And yes, that is again a commentator's curse. I'm very sorry guys, but this is definitely a commentator's curse coming in again. And Team HL Racer, he is on fire today with his Scarl 6 times. He's wrecking havoc on his H2O clan, and it's all down to one member it seems, whereas Jester is definitely and look at that spray. I mean, this is commendable. This player is just wrecked havoc on Team H2 clan. I mean, he's the guy, I think he did 1v3 or 1v4 even with that spray. No, I'm nowhere wrong by calling him a spray god right now. Now they have 8 kills and more than 50% with 6 kills. Team HL Racer is dealing havoc on other teams. Like, he is definitely the guy to be looked out as the top fragger after this match. Now moving on to the other teams. Scout Evil, I mean, this is a mixture of teams, whereas in the meantime we see Toxic Rage being taken down by NWO Shivan. Now the circle is definitely again fair enough for every other teams, and in no time we can see the new circle popping up, and we might just see a hard shift of the circle. Looking at the screen and the positions of all the teams, they are definitely quite spread out, and no one is taking that fight right now, but in no time that there will be bloodbath in the whole of the map of Miramar. DPR God taking down FTP Madara with a sleeky SLR. Now moving on to Team Hunk, whom I have definitely forgotten in this match. I mean, no offense. I mean, this team definitely opts for different types of strategies, gameplays, and they would definitely polish them, the best strategy that would favor them, and they would work out on that again and again. Like yesterday they were trying different strategies in Erangel, and definitely great effort. Only thing was that they couldn't execute in the best possible way, whereas LF Wolverine dealing havoc on DLT Rishi, and this kind of a buggy rotation from Pikabu and Mohit is definitely gonna be tricky, because the player behind your back, he is so vulnerable to sprays. Now moving on to FFP's own clan, they are holding a roadside region, but they do need to come to the circle, and the circle has slightly shifted towards the western region of the main circle, and all the clans definitely need to come inside the circle. And look at how fast Matrix clan is rotating inside the circle. They are definitely opting for a compound under the cliff region. In the meantime, we see DPR Kyromax waiting for his teammates' call to see where they can go and have a hard cover in the compound. And yes, his teammate has relayed that information that there is some team who is holding that compound, so we cannot go over there. We need to take some left or right rotations and take a knock and then push the compound. Now team THX, now they are holding basically a new region in Miramar map near the power grid, and THX Sunny, but whereas wait, there are 3 different teams in power grid. It's Team Illusion, Team FFP, they're just rotating by, and Team THX Sunny, who has a beautiful angle on FFP Crux, who can spray him down. And if Team Illusion doesn't know that there is a guy over here, this bot is so sleeky, so cheeky in the sense that no one can spot you except from your back, where there is a huge cliff and you can be knocked and finished off pretty easily. The footsteps are definitely heard by THX Sunny. Ashish BTC is still trying to land some blows on FFP Crux. He is trying to flank the members of Team Illusion. The grenade is being pulled out. Let's see if it connects. And we can see a third party coming from Team TDS clan on Team Illusion. Now this kind of third party is definitely seen, is quite common in case of Miramars, where you are not careful enough to watch your backs, watch your sides, and you just focus on one particular squad. You can say this as an opinion from mine, or an advice, a free advice, that definitely when you have the opportunity to take some hard cover, do take it, because in customs this becomes a bloodbath when it comes to the 5th or 6th circle, and you get third parties from multi sides and you have nowhere to run when you don't have a vehicle cover. Now DLT Abhishek, now he has got a beautiful AKM skin. Team I am Mr. Weak, he is holding a shack. And when you talk about